Hi guys, I am back with another mental health tip, and today we are talking about the DEARMAN Skill, which is a favorite in dialectical behavior therapy. So the DEARMAN Skill is really useful to help you ask for what you want or to say no, and it assists with interpersonal effectiveness. So it's a way we can be more effective in our communication and in our relationships. Without further ado, it stands for D is for describe, so we're describing the situation. E is for express. We talk about how we feel about that situation. A is for asking for what we want. And then R is for reinforcing. And so what this might look like is describing. When you talk to me in that tone, express, I feel sad and misunderstood. Ask, I would like it if you would use a kinder and softer tone when you speak to me. And then reinforce, we can also sort of help the other person see why this would also be in their best interest. So it might be, when you speak to me this way, I feel like I'll be able to be calmer and more pleasant to be around. And then MAN stands for mindful, appear confident, and negotiate. So the DEAR is sort of how we do it, and the MAN is sort of the approach that we take while doing it. So M, the mindful part, we want to be mindful of the situation, be present with it. Appear confident, so it's much easier to ask for what we want and to say no when we're decisive and we're confident about it versus sort of wishy-washy or unsure. And then the negotiate component is going to help us be more effective in getting what we want or holding the boundary of saying no. If we know what we're willing to bend on, what we might be able to give in order to help the other person be willing to meet us where we're at, then that negotiation can be kind of helpful. So I hope that you find this useful, and just sort of a tip, if you want to use this and you are going to be using it in a situation that feels tricky, you feel like you might forget, write it out in advance. Describe what you're going to say, express how you feel about it, ask for what you want or say no, and then the reinforcement of, why this is in everyone's best interest. And that way, when you go into the difficult conversation, you've got a script, maybe you've even practiced it, and then you can just be a broken record. And if the person shoots you down or gives you a hard time or tries to change the subject, just go right back to the script. And this is a way to practice holding boundaries and, again, asking for what you want and saying no. I hope you find it helpful. Let me know in the comments below, and I will see you next time.